Breaking for Movies with Chadwick Davis. Today I got Liz Reed. This is the very first episode. I'm a little nervous. I'm used to having my boy Shane right next to me. I'm used to him hosting, so this whole hosting thing is totally different now.
He's got a little stage fright. Go easy.
A little stage fright. I got a little butterflies in the stomach right now, but I'm sure I'll be fine in a little while. So basically, what this podcast is going to be, it's going to be me watching movies with my friends. Movies that we've never seen before. It could be crappy movies. It could be a horror movie. It could be a comedy. It could be a comedy romance, like we're watching tonight. It
could be a really crappy movie.
It could be a really crappy movie. It could be starring famous people like tonight, or it could be starring nobodies. Basically, what this podcast, I wanted to start this because I named it Breaking for Movies for multiple reasons. One of the reasons was I want people to stop what they're doing in life. And, like, you know, you get a busy life. Take a break. Watch a movie. Everybody loves movies. Everybody should love movies, I would think. So, you know, just take a break from your busy life and watch a movie. I'm here to help you pick movies and not pick movies. I'm doing this for you right here. I am willing to risk my time.
Service.
My time to make sure my viewers get the right movies out there. So, that's one of the reasons, and the other reason Breaking for Movies is obviously Breaking for Movies, where we'll be taking breaks during the movie to talk about the movie and what has happened so far, how we feel about it, what we think is going to happen, how shitty the movie is, how great the movie is, and we're going to, in the second installment, we're going to try to predict what's going to happen at the end. So at the end, we're going to see who's right and who's wrong and see who the closest is. My guests are always going to change. I have a feeling Liz is going to be on here a lot. She is my movie pal, as I like to say. We go to the movies a lot together. I drag her to some pretty crappy movies.
He's my only friend.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I drag her to a lot of crappy movies. I drag her to a lot of good movies. If she drags me to a movie, it's usually pretty crappy.
It's really crappy. I'm pretty much 2 for 2 on the crap meter.
But I have gone to crappy movies too. But hey, if we didn't go to them, they wouldn't make any money, and we wouldn't be able to make fun of them, I guess. So tonight, we are watching a movie called New Year's Eve.
Have a little faith in me. Have a little faith in me.
New Year's Eve. It is a comedy romance listed.
Star-studded.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 7%, which is not a good rating, by the way.
It's gonna be fantastic.
I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty bad. It came out in 2011. I will read a brief description of the movie from IMDb. It is the lives of several couples and singles in New York intertwine over the course of New Year's Eve. I picked this movie because it is a New Year's. It's not New Year's Eve, but it is a New Year's, and I figured I'd start this thing off with a New Year's movie.
Go 2016.
I mean, this cast alone, you would think this movie would be good. Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac Efron, you got Michael Mandel, Robert De Niro, Halle Berry, Alyssa Milano. You're looking at this list and you're like, man, this is gonna be a great movie. And I just don't know. I remember this coming out in the theaters and bombing totally. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I don't know about you. So basically, we're gonna start this thing up, and then the movie is 1 hour and 57 minutes long. So we're gonna round it off to 118 minutes. So we will be seeing you guys at the 39-minute mark, and then the 78-minute mark, and then at the end, and we will discuss everything that happens. So until then, we'll see you. And we are back. We're breaking from this movie. And this movie is ridiculous right now. I don't even know how to explain this. It's pretty much, 15 different stories going on right now?
Just about.
And they're not making any sense right now, to me at least. I think the stories themselves are kind of making sense, but it's just
all about
not
what New
very...
Year's really is.
Yeah, I mean, all the stories are revolving around New Year's Eve. You can kind of see where it's going to go at the end. You're just getting to know everybody right now. I didn't mention this earlier, but this will be full of spoilers. If you haven't seen this yet, and you can actually follow along with us, it's not a bad idea either. If you pop the movie in and stop it at 39 minutes and listen to us talk about it. As I'm watching this movie, I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to get everybody into what is going on right now. And I'm basically going to break it down. IMDb breaks it down into each party. So we're going to basically go over all the parties right now. Just very briefly. First, you got the Resolution Tour. It's Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac Efron. What happening right now is Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer are getting to bond a little bit, maybe?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
they're bonding. She is discovering the more open, adventurous side of herself.
Yes. She started off as a very strict, very straight-laced kind of older lady.
Little timid.
She fell down in the middle of the city and didn't want help up. She works for John Lithgow at the record company. Yeah, that's 3 already. That's 3 big stars already, right off the bat.
We're probably up to 20, 25 at this point.
Yeah, I'm like watching this and I'm like, oh, I know him. I'm looking it up online and everything. I'm like, I know him from somewhere. So that was the first one. Basically, what you're getting out of that story right now is Zac Efron is showing her the way. She wants Zac Efron to live a little bit.
Regain her youth a little bit.
Regain the youth a little bit.
You know, she's gotten a little older. She's gotten a little follow routine.
Yes.
And she needs a little spontaneity in her life.
Quit her job, and she wants to get this stuff down in order for him to get the tickets for the big party.
Of course.
All right, so next we got the hospital story, which we have seen briefly. It's Robert De Niro and Halle Berry was in it.
Yep.
Basically what it is Robert De Niro is on his deathbed, and his one wish to the doctor was to see the ball drop on top of the roof, and the doctor says no. It's against protocol. And Halle Berry walks in as the nurse, and it's looking like she might try to help him out a little bit. That's basically that story right now. Then we got the maternity ward, which is Jessica Biel and Seth Meyers as a couple. I didn't really recognize the other 2 people, but
no.
I think it's Sarah Paulson and Till Schweiger. I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Yeah. The 2 couples are basically fighting over who's going to have the first baby of the year.
The chase for the check.
Yes. $25,000 on the line. They're trying to induce labor. She's eating sardines. The nurse said, the doctor had told her, that doesn't work like that. But they're just in there trying to... They had a couple funny scenes. Seth Meyers, I laughed a little bit with him. But basically that's all that story is all about, is them trying to win that money. Trying to get the baby out first.
He's got student loans he's got to pay off.
He's got student loans he has to pay off. All right, so next story on IMDb is the Jensen and Laura story, which involves... romance and one of the greatest acting performances from Bon Jovi to this date. Bon Jovi is in this movie, by the way. He is Kathleen Hegel's old love interest.
Current love interest.
Yeah, we're getting to that point right now where they're
bitter scorned.
Something happened last year, and it kind of came out just recently, like in the movie, that he had wanted to propose to her, and he got cold feet.
Little jilted lover going on. He
had to go on tour, and she's a little mad about that. We also got Sofia Vergara, funny. We got Russell Peters in this story, who is married to Sofia. They had a couple funny scenes, taking pictures and stuff like that, jiggling and wiggling.
Bouncing.
Keep bouncing. So you got that story. And now we got the shortest story of all of them, and I think it's going to involve the least amount of people, is the elevator story.
Yes.
And we got Ashton Kutcher. He pretty much started the movie off. He was the second or third scene. A younger guy who... Something has happened to this guy, and he hates New Year's Eve. Zac Efron actually called him on the phone and was like, "Hey, we got to go party." Nope, I'm staying inside. He's taking down decorations. He just does not want anything to do with New Year's Eve.
The Grinch in the New Year's.
The Grinch of the New Year's. He takes down all the decorations, and he heads towards the elevator. And the new girl from 6B, I think that's what it was.
5B.
5B,
Yes.
6B.
5B.
It was a B. Gets in the elevator with him, and pretty much the elevator just stops.
Yeah. Stuck in
And-
an elevator with Ashton Kutcher. How bad could that be?
Cut scene, and now it cut back a little bit later on to another short scene where they're in the elevator together waiting for the handyman to come along and fix the elevator. And they're trying to sneak out.
Well, she's got Bon Jovi. She's got to go meet him.
Yep. Yeah, and
She's a groupie.
And that's one of the clues of what's going to happen later on, I think. I think they're all going to meet up at the concert.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to think of how Robert De Niro is going to get stretchered out into the concert. So that's a small story, but it's still a story part of the movie. Now we get the mother and daughter story. That involves Sarah Jessica Parker
Yes.
and her kid.
The quintessential New York girl.
Yep. All the kid wants to do is hang out with her boyfriend on New Year's Eve. She's 15 years old, though.
Be a little bit of an adult.
Just being a little bit of adult. Her boyfriend, I didn't recognize him, but I recognized his friend from Paper Towns and Fault of Our Stars. So pretty much that story is pretty simple. She just wants to hang out with her boyfriend, and Sarah Jessica Parker says no.
A little over-controlling mom. Something may have happened in a past, lifetime,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
has scorned her against the city.
Okay, this is the one I know least about. Is they call it the Ahern Party, which is the one that involves Josh Duhamel, who is just crashed his car.
Yes.
He started off going to his friend's wedding in
Connecticut.
Shout out to New London. It was on the GPS, by the way. I saw it. He was looking for New York, and New London came up. Might be the only time New London has ever came up in a movie. But he's trying to get to New York City. I don't know why he's trying to get to New York City. I don't think... Was that explained?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just trying to...
He's got a big speech he's got to make at a corporation.
There we go. I didn't catch that. So he's trying to get to New York City. Everything is in his way right now and not allowing him to get to New York City. His car had just... His GPS... he's trying to figure out his GPS, and he's New York. And
Typical turn left, no turn right.
And then when he went to go turn right and the GPS told him to turn left, he turned right into a snowbank. And that's where we left with him. The tow truck showed up, and that's where we're stuck in that story right now.
So far, fate is saying no New York City.
That's what it's pointing at right now. I have a feeling he's going to make it.
I have a feeling they're all going to make it.
I have a feeling they're all going to make it too. And then we get I think what is the main story of all the stories is the Times Square movie story, which involves
$1 Million Baby.
There you go. And she is the coordinator of the ball dropping, the big ball drop. She has a lot of people around her, a lot of stars. Ludacris shows up, which I loved. Pretty much the story is her leading up to the point where she's going to be dropping the ball. She's setting everything up.
This is her big career moment.
Big career moment. She's afraid of heights. And she has to, which was the funny part of the movie, was she was afraid of heights and she had to get up to where the ball was because it was sponsored by Philips, the lighting company. And she wanted to flip it on with the big switch. And she got halfway up the stairs and froze. Ludacris, who is I guess he's like not the bodyguard, but
He works for the police.
So he is kind of the bodyguard. Yeah, he takes care of it and calls one of his partners up, and his partner grabs her, and throws her over his shoulder, and carries her up to the rooftop. After that, all the ladies on the stairs. Oh, we're gonna all get rides up there, and it was kind of funny. It was giggled a little bit. Yeah, it was a little chuckle moment. I think that's it. I think that's all the parties, but. Holy shit, did we see a lot of people in this movie so far.
At least 20, possibly 25.
I'm telling you.
Within the first 10 minutes, at least 10.
Within the first 15, 20 minutes of this movie, we were both going, oh, I know him. I know her. I know him. I know her. Yeah, I've seen him somewhere. I know, Yeah. He was in Transformers. Yeah, he was. Well, at first I said he was in X-Men, but I knew he was in one of those big movies. And
comic book things aren't him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna end it here, and we're gonna go back to watching this classic movie we're watching right now. And so far, I'm not gonna give this movie a bad grade. I mean, we're setting up things right now, so
It's not so bad.
It's not
so
as
far.
bad as I thought it was going to be so far. It could get worse. I don't think it deserves the 7% as of right now.
I give it like a 15 so far.
I give it a little bit higher than that. We've had some good scenes with Zac Efron in it, who's very young in this, and as you pointed out, very handsome.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes from here. But we're going to sign off, and we're going to watch another 39 minutes of this movie, and we will get back to you to tell you what else has happened. And we are back for the second time during this movie, and
shit got deep.
It just got deep. How deep?
Serenade deep.
Yeah. It's so hard to break this movie down.
We've got like 5 or 6 different storylines going all at the same time. They're all intertwined. They're all going to meet at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. We've learned some things about different people, and I'm going to do the same thing basically over again, but it's going to be a lot shorter than the last time. So we got the Revolution tour. Where do we start with this?
She's pathetic.
Yeah. She, very pathetic. Zac Efron is still at it.
But he learned a
lesson.
Yes, exactly.
He did learn a lesson. He talked a little smack about her to his friend.
He took the tour for the wrong reason, and I think he's figuring out what the right reason is now.
Upset her a little bit, and she quit on him, and he I think he learned his lesson. And now he is back on track to get her list done. The list that she wants to get done before New Year's. It's a long list, by the way. And he's coming up with
very
some
ambitious list.
Creative ways of finishing that list. A trip around the world.
A trip to Bali.
A trip to Bali. But they have accomplished pretty much all of them. So basically, that's where that story is at right now. We did find out Zac Efron's character is related to Sarah Jessica Parker's character. They are brother and sister, which is odd,
quite
I
the
think,
age difference.
because she's like 50 years older than him, I think, maybe.
I don't think it's 50.
Okay.
We're going to go like maybe
48.
20-something, but...
Pretty close. Then we got the hospital story, which is the Robert De Niro story. A very sad story.
Yes.
He is literally pretty much on the edge of dying, to be blunt about it.
He is on his last few hours of life.
Holly Berry is at his side the whole time. Towards the end, the last scene that we just saw, he had a little bit of forgetfulness in himself. And he had, I don't know if he had woken up, but she was sleeping. He had woken her up, and he thought she was his wife. And
his wronged wife. He had definitely done her wrong, and he is now feeling the regret of not living life like he should have.
Yeah, so we find out why he wants to see the ball drop so badly, because it was something that they used to do. And that's pretty much where that story is at right now. And then we have the maternity ward story. This is the most interesting story, I think. So far, they're battling it out still.
The dads are battling it out.
The dads are battling it out now.
The moms have come to a truce.
And Jessica Biel's character has come to the realization that the money does not matter, and the kid coming out matters more than the money at this point.
May the best of a JJ win.
Yes, and it is a race down the corridors of the hospital to see who can have this baby first. There has been some funny scenes. She has been doing yoga to try to induce labor. And Seth Meyers had a couple of funny lines during that. He is probably one of my favorite characters in this so far. He's brought the comedy, and he's a little iffy with me sometimes, and he's been good in this one so far.
He's got the dry, sarcastic humor.
Yes,
going
just
on.
like his show. His late night show. He has that dry sense of humor, and that's just where that one is at right now. Then we got the Jensen and Laura, and this one kind of ties in with the elevator story.
It does. I mean, we didn't get too much with Bon Jovi and Katherine Heigl in this section.
We got a lot of Bon Jovi. We have one of the biggest build-ups to maybe the second part of this story of the movie. We get the Bon Jovi concert.
Yes.
Bon Jovi is
Jensen.
performing. Jensen, as his name is in the movie, is performing, and it just so happens that in the elevator, Ashton Kutcher and the girl from Glee are stuck in the elevator, and now they are sharing stories about their life.
And she just so happens to be a backup singer for Jensen.
For Bon Jovi. And we find out that he's a comic book writer. So he draws a picture as she sings to him in the elevator with full music in the background, by the way, because it just so happens that they start singing the song together, her and Bon Jovi.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
I don't know the song.
That's what's going on right there.
Yes.
A full-on Leonardo, Kate Winslet moment.
Yeah. It was it's up to this point has been the worst scene in the movie. The Bon Jovi concert wasn't bad, but when they were
until he catches out of the corner of her eye,
Kirsten's,
his eye.
Yes.
Katherine Heigl.
Katherine Heigl, yes. But the elevator scene is horrid right now.
Really bad.
The camera coming back to her singing.
Very cliche.
And the music still playing though is what is getting to me because there's no music in the elevator.
The elevator's broke down.
But yet the
phone doesn't work.
There's a full band in there all of a sudden, and she's like looking off into
gazing off
into the far abyss, and he's drawing the picture and setting it up for the most famous kiss scene that is in a lot of movies. Unfortunately, I called it because they were setting up the kiss with, oh, well, since we can't go out and celebrate New Year's Eve, let's do it in here. Let's have our own party. Here we go. Two-man party.
Our eyes meet from across the room.
They do the countdown. 3, 2. They're this close. Elevator works. Cue the elevator. And who saves the day? Mr. Belushi. So we got that going on right now. She takes off. She's the backup singer for Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
but apparently she's missed the concert already because he's already performing.
He's only done one song, and it was a solo, and
Okay, so
he was serenading his lost love.
That's true. All right, so we got that story. Well, those 2 stories, we knocked out 2 stories at one time there. We got the not so enthusing to me story of the mother-daughter.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a letdown.
A big letdown. The daughter, very cliche, I think. The daughter takes off, storms into her room, sneaks out of the house. Basically,
it just so happened to be open window in the middle of December.
Yeah, in New York, and she climbed down the fire escape and all that good stuff.
Took the subway.
And this is where we find out that Sarah Jessica Parker and Zac Efron are indeed related.
Brother and sister. He's the cool uncle. He actually tells her where the kid is. Yep. Not the cool uncle, by the way. But it is what it is. So but basically that's all we gotten out of that story. And then we move on to the Josh Duhamel. He is now, the tow truck has now got him. Yeah. And brought him back to the church where he originated from. In Connecticut.
He gets out of the tow truck. Why am I back at the church? Here comes the priest, the minister, whatever he is. He happens to be the brother of the tow truck driver. Cousin of the tow truck driver. Yes. And he happens to be going to New York.
Happens to be.
With his family to see the Rockettes. So the tow truck driver goes, do you mind driving with them? And do you mind chipping in for gas? Yeah. I'll pay for all the gas, he says. Next thing, cue the RV. And he got into the RV with the family and said, how much is this going to cost me? And that is...
What kind of credit card do you have?
Yeah, what kind of credit card do you have? They cut back to the scene, and we find out that he is going to New York City now, not only to give a speech, but also to reconcile.
Meet a
former
lost love interest.
Yeah, it was a one night kind of thing that they met up and
she left a note on a napkin.
Yeah.
Meet me here next year on New Year's Eve.
If you're still thinking about me.
And I think we kind of find out who that is.
I think I have an idea.
Liz says she has an idea, and we will find out if that is correct. And then the last part of this is we get the Times Square story.
Yes.
And
dun dun dun.
This is
Hilary Swank.
Yep. She's the coordinator of the ball drop-in, and the ball has gone kaputz. Failed. They need to get the professional ball fixer-upper guy. Just so happens to be the guy that she has fired once in his lifetime.
No, she didn't fire him.
I thought that's what he said. You fired me.
The company fired.
Okay, so
not her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he got fired. He got fired by the company, but they need him back. And
she pled to him. Hold on his heartstrings.
Now the whole New York City is waiting because the ball is up there with no lights on,
with bated breath. So she gives a
speech to kind of save her own ass, and it was a very good speech.
It was a heartwarming speech.
It was, and I think it kind of did because the people were clapping.
It kind of summed up what New Year's is all about.
Yes, it was a very touching, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go. He's up there, and I think he's going to fix it. He's going to save the day, I think.
11:59, he's going to fix it.
Yeah, he's going to fix it.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go back to the movie, and we will come back to you guys and let you guys know how this ends. And if you're watching it with us, please stay awake because I'm amazed I'm awake right now.
After that serenade, we were dozing a little bit.
Yeah, we will see you again in probably 39 minutes. All right, bye. And here we are at the end of this movie. Words can't explain how I feel right now. Overall, the movie wasn't that bad.
No, it was not that bad.
It really wasn't that bad. I don't think it deserves that 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, not at all. We got to give it at least, a 30?
We're going to be given a ranking at the end here.
All right.
We'll come up with something. All right, so the final scene at the final stage of the movie, the third tier,
the stories.
Everything comes all together, and we soon find out that everything is connected somehow.
Absolutely.
Your little prediction was totally wrong. They made it seem like it was gonna happen, but
I almost had a chance.
Yeah, so Josh Duhamel's Jamal, or whatever. I don't even know how to say his last name.
Anyways,
yeah,
the guy from Transformers.
Yeah. His character, as she predicted earlier, not on the podcast, but with me, was gonna end up with
$1 Million Baby.
Hillary, and
not so much.
They ran towards each other.
They had a fleeting moment in time,
and I think the movie I think they knew everybody was thinking that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they
played us.
Ran right by each other. And in the end, he ended up with Sarah Jessica Parker. I have a couple issues with the ending of the movie. There were some very unbelievable activities happening in this movie.
I think very would be an understatement.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher's new fling, the girl from Glee, is the backup singer for Bon Jovi. And Bon Jovi cannot make the big concert in the middle of...
his heart is someplace else.
Yeah, I don't think that happens in real life. I don't think musicians
cancel tours,
cancel a concert for New Year's Eve in the middle of New York to try to reconcile a love. But because he wasn't there, she got to sing.
Cue the backup dancer.
Backup dancer, come on, here's the mic. That's what they said. I mean, here's the mic.
Sing the iconic Auld Lang Syne.
Take over control.
Absolutely.
And she took control, and New York went crazy. The ball got fixed. It was a funny scene. The guy that fixed the ball, Kaminsky, he fixed the ball. They hit
just in time.
They hit the switch, and up with the ball
goes Kaminsky.
Kaminsky with the ball, gimme down the other way. It was kind of funny. They brought the ball down, and he was given leadership of the thing now, because this is where the part where Hillary, we thought she said she had something that she had to go do.
She had a commitment,
and this was the moment she had a commitment, and this is where we thought it was going to happen. She was going to meet up with Josh. Yeah, no, she didn't.
Ran right by him, and turns out that she is Robert De Niro's daughter. And he goes with her up to the rooftop
to watch the ball drop
for one last time.
Yes.
Very touching moment. It was sad. I mean, Robert De Niro is dying. He did die, by the way. Spoiler alert. I mean, the movie's 4 years old. If you haven't seen it by now, like us, then there's no such thing as a spoiler. But yes, but I mean, Zac Efron ended up, as you could guess, getting Michelle Pfeiffer and bringing her to the party. Actually, she had one more thing on the list that she needs to accomplish. And I kind of knew what the last thing on the list was going to be. It was a kiss at midnight on New Year's Eve. Yeah. And Zac Efron ran out of nowhere, grabbed her, and just kissed her. And she's like, oh iconic my dip. God, you're double my age. He's like, last thing on your list, check. That, there. It's taken care of. What else happened? Oh, the maternity. They ended up having the baby first.
Jessica Biel did.
Yes, Jessica Biel and Seth Meyers. But when they find out that the other group that was challenging them actually had the baby 1 minute after them, but they had 3 kids.
3 girls.
3 girls, and they felt bad. Seth Meyers felt bad and said it was 1 minute after their time. Yes. Which is very touching. A very good thing to do.
They gave up the $25K.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen in real life either, I'm sorry to say.
No, fuck that shit.
Yeah, fuck that
shit. I gave birth first.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and the little mother-daughter kind of thing going on. She ends up finding the daughter in the crowd of millions.
1 million people.
Yeah,
she
finds
just so
the daughter.
To find her daughter
at the exact time that her daughter's boyfriend is kissing another girl. Another girl. Yeah. And
she's there to pick up the heartbroken pieces
runs
of her
into
daughter.
her arms. Great mother-daughter scene. Now in real life, this scene is brought to the house, and the girl is therefore grounded after that for skipping out. I mean, for running away. But Sarah Jessica Parker, I guess, has a heart.
She's cool with it.
Lets her go out to the after party, even though she didn't want her going to the before party. No, go hang out with your friends at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're 15 years old. You're good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry. Pip's mother is lurking in the background, which was kind of funny because she's just like peeking around. She's like this the whole movie. Like walking around, just looking around, like right behind the kids and everything. And then finally at the end, one of the kids was like, "Who is that lady anyway?" And that was a funny part too. Overall, I didn't mind this movie. I could see this movie being a movie that you kind of set up on your DVR or your TV every New Year's Eve at the exact time that it ends, and they count down from 10.
Absolutely.
In real life, have it count down.
You play it in the background, and you know.
I could see this happening. This could be a tradition movie. Not for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably never gonna see it again. But it wasn't that bad.
No, and it did have some really good points to it. I mean, I get that they were trying to, you know, New Year's are about. It's about love. It's about starting over again and
forgiving people and hope, and it had a good backstory. But I think with the amount of people that they had in this movie, they just didn't have the ability to make a solid movie out of it.
They probably could have cut the stars in like
half
by 10th. Put in a 10th of those stars.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, in the third stage of this movie, we got more stars. We got Amari Stoudemire, and then we got Matthew Broderick coming in at the end.
Out of nowhere.
We got the mayor of New York himself was there.
Made a cameo
in this movie. I mean, I cannot think of a movie besides maybe Starship Troopers had a lot of people in it. It could be right up there with that movie. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people were in this movie.
Just a litany of stars.
So what I was thinking for all these movies that I'm watching, I'm going to either have one guest or I'm going to have 2 guests. It's going to be a weird rating system, but this is the only thing I could come up with. I'm going to do it out of 12 points. So if I have 2 people on the podcast, 1, 2, each of us is going to get 6 points to give this movie.
If we have 3 guests, or 2 guests and myself, each person will have 4 points to give. So it all equals out to be 12.
All right.
So it's divisible by 2 and 3 and 4 if I decide to have 4 people on the show.
You break out the abacus for that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to have like people like up here, and that might get a little crazy. For myself, out of 6, I'm gonna keep track for the whole year, and I'm gonna break it down at the end of the year, and I'm gonna do the best movies that we've watched this year together, and I'm gonna do the worst movies that we've seen together. No, so I get 6 points for this movie.
Yes.
And I am going to give this movie 3 points. So 3 out of 6, I gave it a 50% because it wasn't that bad and it wasn't that good. So dead center, 3 points. You can go half points.
Okay.
But you can't go quarter points.
All right. So I am going to give the movie a 3.
3.
But if you watch the outtakes,
yes,
it will get a 3.5.
Yes, I agree.
You absolutely have to watch the outtakes. They almost make the movie.
Without the ending outtakes and the final probably 5 minutes of the movie, I probably would have given it a 2 out of 6. But with the ending, which was hilarious, there was bloopers involved. It was kind of a weird setup because there was bloopers, but they also included real stuff included in the movie.
Right.
Because of the whole Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer dancing together. That was supposed to be part of the movie.
Right.
But then you got, like, Kathleen Heigl and Robert De Niro threw in a good joke in there. He actually had 2 good jokes in there.
Doctor.
Yeah, he had 2 good jokes in there. And there was some bloopers in there. They had the old lady with the clip, and she was real slow. Cut. But it was real funny at the end. Like I said, I would have gave it a 2, but the ending gave it an extra point for me. That's how good it was.
You have to watch the outtakes.
Yes, that was
pretty much makes the movie.
That was definitely what made the movie. So this movie gets a 6 out of 12. 6.5 out of 12.
Yes.
6.5 out of 12 from me and Liz Reed. This is the first episode of Breaking for Movies with Chadwick Davis. I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it. I know I messed up a ton of times in this one. Hopefully it gets better. I got one poster that I hung up right before this podcast. I'm hoping to get
literally right before
2 more right here. Hang those ones up so we have a better background. I got this cool little microphone. I love this microphone.
Spruce the place up for you next time.
Yeah, it's gonna look better. I might actually vacuum so like it's not dirty around here
because you guys can see the floor. You know. We know you're watching.
She got some steak. I mean, I'm not gonna do that every time. But, I mean, my guests...
I got fed.
I will treat my guests very well, and I'm hoping to shoot another one next week with my buddy Mike Munger. I think what we have in plans is Straight Outta Compton. Neither one of us has seen that. So, I think that's going to be what it is. You can find me and my YouTube videos and my podcast over at the Movie House Maniacs. I'm affiliated with the Cinebros. I am also on another podcast with Shane Moore, Cinetalk. We just finished up our 30th episode this morning.
I'm an honorary Cinesister.
Honorary Cinesister. She's part of the Cine family. That will grow more as I have more people on my podcast. This podcast is going to be a little bit easier to get guests on. I'm shooting to actually be going on vacation soon to Maine to see my family, and I'm hoping to get a couple podcasts done up there so I can actually have people that are not just local to me. I got some bigger people in the works that
who's bigger than me?
Not too many people, but maybe a little bit more famous people lined up maybe.
Clearly you don't know who I am.
Yeah. So we're gonna end this podcast right now. Like you said, you can find me on Facebook at Chadwick Davis. I just changed the name of it actually to Breaking Movies with Chadwick Davis, so it's easier to find. You can find me over at the Cinebros. I post every once in a while on the Facebook page about movies coming out and just new news that are coming out. Please go on YouTube and subscribe to our page. Watch our other videos and hopefully get attached to this podcast and get my viewerships up, and maybe I can get some guests and get some advertisements and stuff and maybe get paid. I mean, a little bit for this. What? Say what?
We'll be doing a lot of fun things with this. I want to get suggestions from you guys about movies that possibly I haven't seen and my guests have seen. Like I said, they can be terrible movies. They can be awesome movies.
The good, the bad, the ugly, we'll take it all.
We take it all on this podcast, and we take on all movies for you on this one. So I am signing off right now.
Absolutely.
You can sign off first.
I got nothing.
I want to thank Liz Reed for showing up.
You can't find me anywhere.
You can't find her anywhere, even if you look on Facebook.
I'm a ghost.
You can't find her. You can check my friend list out and get on her or whatever. But I'm out of here. Signing off. See you guys later. See you in the next podcast.